starting to the bottom left of the map, we have a Zerg player starting for Team StarTale. Life is already taken out. This is
StarTale, curious.
Nobody knows what he's curious about. It's been a few years. Nobody asked him. He's too dangerous. You don't want to get too close.
Look at that guy. He looks scary, so you don't really want to ask him a question like that. Starting to the bottom right, we have his Terran opponent, the one who defeated Life. This
AZUBU Supernova.
AZUBU Supernova with a really good record in this particular matchup, but on the other hand, you look at Curious and you realize that he has 21 maps played, 16 wins and 5 losses, a 76% win ratio.
Supernova hit 600 APM, by the way, for just a second. I wanted to point that out because what?
I like that, because what?
How did he do that?
He presses 1 and 2 like real fast.
There's the hatch. Pop down the hatch first. Supernova is going to follow suit with the command center first on Whirlwind, changing his style up completely.
And the Overlord Scout is just brilliant.
Yeah, really nice. And if he turns it, then Supernova's not going to know where to look, so he's just going to turn it around right after he sees the CC. And, well, he should.
Yeah. Barely.
If the SUV were at the top left, he would have seen it, but he doesn't, so he doesn't know.
This gives you that warm and fuzzy feeling if you actually see a scout like this, and it's like, oh, nice, that worked out really well for me.
Exactly.
You know that there's a command center first, you know where your opponent spawns, you know everything.
You remember Lost Temple and Metalopolis, where you'd always just send one of your workers to see if the Overlord was there, because the Overlord could see your Nexus and then leave, so you'd have to go just check blindly. Similar idea here. So, he goes to check and sees no Overlord. That doesn't mean it's not there, though. In fact, it's hidden over here. So he's going to go to scout the incorrect location.
Yeah, Lost Temple, the most mistreated map that Blizzard ever made. First they lost it, then they shattered it. It was quite sad.
Yeah. And, you know,
to be honest, the map deserved it.
Yeah, it was,
Imba.
The next time you see a siege tank on top of the ramp next to your natural shooting at you, or a Thor, or both with turrets, then
yeah.
Sometimes
don't remind me.
And sometimes in really weird cases, a bunker.
I don't want to know how many games I rage quit when that happened.
Well, I remember.
You were always trying to fight it, to fight it out, and just sometimes you just looked at it and it were like turrets and everything. You're like, ah.
Like you get like a few mutas and you send them over, and like there's just 2 SVs. He drops in with a medevac, and they start to repair the Thor, and you're like, oh my god.
Back then, the best feeling as a Zerg that you had is when you were watching a few Europeans play, and a couple of players really just started to blind counter their strategy, because every Terran player was going for it. Bly, for example, he went in and just went 1 base muta, and the first few Terran players never saw that strategy. They just expected the expansion to be there, went for that build, dropped the Thor, the siege tank on the high ground, and suddenly Mutalisk flew into their main base, and they were like, well, I guess it's over. And that was very rewarding.
We saw that
last a long time.
We saw it a few times, and it happened to mostly Zergs. Every now and then you have a Protoss have that. He's trying to get a Warp Prism up there, and nightmares, man, on that. I was back then in the beta playing random a lot, and I hit that so many times. But
really, you hit that? I mean, from everything that you told me about your proxy Void Ray build, I would have suspected that you were the first one that would actually do it.
When I was Terran against one of those races, I did it a lot.
I knew it.
But when I spawned as Zerg, I was like, you know, like back then we also had Kulas Ravine.
Oh yeah.
All the cliffs, man, all the cliffs.
Yeah. Okay. Nostalgia aside, looking at the game here, we have 2 Widow Mines already built for Supernova, and with the Starport, the Medivac will follow up soon, so we will see the Widow Mine drop into the main base of Curious. And on a day like this, it's very transparent that StarTale just needs Bomber. StarTale now going with Curious, and he's heading into speed for not only the Zerglings, but straight with the upgrade for the Overlords as well. Later on, going to be very useful for the Overseers against the Widow Mines, but for now, a bit of early scouting in the main base going to be quite useful. Question being, of course, can this drop in the main base with the Widow Mines do damage? If Supernova gets a few drone kills here, would be a really good start for him into this game.
Yeah, kind of a weird opening, just rare. Weird is not the best choice for it, of words, but he will see it. His second Overlord will actually get coverage, but only for a second. And he needs to react very quickly to that. He's got Lings ready, but Lings alone, depending on how the Widow Mines get burrowed, might not be enough. Here he goes, boosting in. Lings actually do not react. Lings do not react.
He did not see it. It was on the minimap, but he didn't spot it. Here comes
Oh my god, what is he doing?
Curious, no!
What is he doing?
He does.
He's still not reacting really. Now he sends the Lings over, but he's just going to go to the third base here. Drone's pulled off the line, losing mining time, and he's going to load over here.
Wolf, did he see the Widow Mines in the main base?
I don't know, man, but here's...
He's still mining there. And of course, yes, he has a bit more time left, but...
And the main base is going to get really nasty here in a second. 2 more drones go down, and he doesn't know. He does not know.
Oh my god, how could he miss that?
Well, guys, I think that...
I actually looked at his APM because for a second I thought his keyboard might be...
No, dude, I had the exact same moment where I was like, nah, we need to pause. He's going to claim this one. But the ones in the main are still a problem.
There we go.
Viking actually starting to clear off some overlords.
All right.
Even... Ooh, this is going to be close, actually.
That's going to be too close. He needs
to bait one Zergling for one. Yeah, there we go. Actually loses some larva. Nice targeting by Supernova. Oh, and he actually just goes out of the range.
15 harvesters killed. 15.
For 4 Widow Mines. Look at the worker count, 49 to 47. He's got 3rd CC ready to go, and so much bio is coming down Curious's throat very, very, very soon.
Alright, that I did not expect this. Like, he might not have lost as many workers there as he could have. I actually think that with the Widow Mine changes, the shots were much more gentler than
they were nerfed.
Yeah.
The shots, the damage was nerfed, yeah.
Think about this drop with the old Widow Mines. Everything in the main base would have been gone. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Curious didn't pull away, because he said, like, you know, if I actually let them mine, it's not going to do as much damage as if I accidentally close them up together.
He doesn't see! He doesn't see! He literally doesn't see it this time. There's no way he could have seen it. Oh, God. This is possibly going to end the game. 28 Zerglings is all he has, and so many of them are so far away. Medevac stim, every Marine is unloaded, and you might as well just say GG right now. He's going to kill the spawning pool, and he could actually just kill all the Lings. Goodbye, Lings.
Oh my god.
Goodbye, spawning pool, and goodbye, Curious.
This is brutal.
This is game.
So brutal.
What is he going to do here? He doesn't even have a spawning pool. He doesn't have a baneling nest. He's got nothing. He doesn't even have a lair, and he's about to lose what he has building for a lair.
This is... I have no idea what to say here. This is crazy. The Zerglings are trying to save what's there to save. A lot of them will go down. I don't think that he's going to lose the game here immediately, but he's so far behind that he might as well. The Banelings finally coming in. Most of the Lings are taken out. You need to build more units after this. Here come the Banelings. Trading 1-for-1 as well. He's down to 12 army supply against 62.
The rest of the units coming on the low ground, killing some of the creep. 1-for-1 on the Banelings, like you said, never ideal, and that's what he's forcing out here. The spawning pool is still not done, which means no more units.
The rest of the units that are streaming across the map should end it.
He doesn't have any Zerglings. I mean, literally. And without Zerglings, you can't make Banelings. That's a tech requirement.
There's no spawning pool. He can't even build any.
And he starts them now, but it's too late.
GG. And he takes the game. Supernova with 2 victories over Zerg players today. He takes down Live, he takes down Supernova, and he wins it for Team AZUBU. In the best of 3 here at the Team League playoffs, they are up 1-0 now.
That was the most unlike Curious game that I think I've seen from him in years. I do not know what to say. He missed it. He was thinking about something else. He was stressing about something. I don't know what was going on. But he... I don't know what to say. That was not like Curious at all.
That was absolutely not what I expected.
That's a great feeling for AZUBU, you know, to take the win here, but even they have got to be thinking, what happened in that game? And that's it. StarTale loses the first day, and they are really going to have to come back strong tomorrow.
Let's be honest about this. They were crushed.
That was very one-sided.
I'm still thinking about these Widow Mines in the main mineral line. Did he really not see that? He must have. So was it a purposefully choice to actually leave the drones mining? Because he said, like, with the new changes to the Widow Mines, I'm not going to lose that many drones. But if I cluster them up and try to escape and a shot goes in, then maybe I lose even more.
We didn't have any detection, so like, maybe he was like, well, what am I going to do? Just not mine from my main base?
I mean, the thing is, like, it feels so weird for me that he might not have seen them being dropped and then attacking. You know? and 15 kills in total. I feel a lot of those went down at the natural too. But as is, the second drop was sealing the deal. The first one was already pathing the way, and Supernova just with an absolute stellar performance today. But that last game, that was...
when you lose that many drones, you can't just make army because then your economy is hurt. If you make drones, then you don't have a big enough army. He didn't have a Baneling Nest, and then when the drop came in the main, he didn't even see it. I don't know why his Overlord, he moved it slightly further away because it was initially in place to see it, and then he didn't see it. So maybe he moved it because he thought that was the reason why he didn't see it. I have no idea what was going on there, but Supernova gets all 3 medevacs unloaded. He has almost as many Marines as there are Zerglings. It's not a single Baneling. What do you expect?
This is the 5th game this year that they lose against AZUBU, if I'm not mistaken, team match. They have to play tomorrow, and
things are looking grim.
Yeah. I mean,
they really need to pull it off tomorrow. Bomber needs to show up. Bomber needs to be on the roster.
He's not part of the roster tomorrow.
He's not going to be on the roster tomorrow? No. Well, without him, then I mean,
the matches have already been determined who's going to play tomorrow, so Bomber is not in there. He might come into play on the 3rd day, but right now...
if they can get there.
Good. Yeah, they need to get there first. That's the big problem. I feel that they have a lineup tomorrow where they can actually win it. A few of the matches are going to be really close. We're starting things off with Live versus Symbol, actually, and that alone is already going to determine quite a lot. If
it's going to be epic, that's for sure.
That, then they have a good chance there, but I don't know what to say. Like, StarTale, I love the team. I'm good friends with a lot of the players, but they have always, in the last 2 years, been absolutely disappointing in the team league.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what's going on.
A trend that I don't understand, because quite often when you look at the lineup and you look at the players, especially back in 2012 as well, you're always going like, oh my god, who's even going to contest that?
Yeah.
Them and LGIM, they were like the most dominant teams on paper, and then they always fall off. And LGIM finally won a season like the last season, but right now, StarTale... I'm disappointed. I expected more of them. I expected at least a fight.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on. I don't know how they're preparing, but they're not preparing as well as AZUBU and Axiom Acer, that's for sure. And something needs to change. They've only got about less than 24 hours to do it.
And there might be a mental block as well, but you're right, they have to step it up big time now. I expected to see that today.
Yeah, all I saw, Curious, was a mental block. And Zubu coach says he expected a much harder match today, and to be totally frank, he said it was an easy match. And now he feels much more confident that they're actually going to go to the finals. This is exactly what you don't want to hear if you're the StarTale coach.
So it's being asked now how many kills he actually expected Ragnarok to get in today's match.
If everything went his way, maybe 2 wins, he says. He's talking about Boom Boom. Boom was planning to come in next if Ragnarok lost his first match. But since Ragnarok was able to take 2 wins, Boom Boom didn't have to come out.
So he was the plan B for the team.
Yep. Which explains why he wore the suit and came out like that.
I also like that he basically confirms that theory that we have about that.
That's true. I mean, if the things don't go that way, then Boom Boom just doesn't play. There's no reason for him to anymore because he prepared for something a little bit more specific. Exactly.
뭔가를 사왔는데 엄청 비싼 걸 사왔길래 야, 그 정도 투자해도 혹시 못하면
Okay, so he bought the costume. When he first brought it to the house, the coach's first thought is that Boom Boom is crazy.
좀 기특하죠?
But he's thankful that Boom Boom did, as a team captain, came to the studio like this and just wanted to show good ceremonies for the fans.
Well, he definitely did that.
He didn't play, but he's still looking fun. He still thinks Boom Boom is honestly a little bit crazy still.
I mean, we all know that.
But he likes that type of player, you know, when he's ready to come to the studio and make a show.
Some people would argue that with a few of the picks that we've seen from the coach this season, he's also a little bit crazy. But in a good way.
Yeah.
Always surprised and had a couple of really nice surprises up his sleeve there.
So, I think we're going to hear... Oh, okay, so he's asking actually tomorrow, do you have any specific plans against StarTale? Of course, they're going into the different format.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be the format where we have all the matches predetermined already, and that's the one where they were doing really well. It's a pretty tight schedule, that's what he's currently saying, and that the players will have to play a lot of matches. Today ended a lot sooner than they expected. So they're going to go to the team house today, going to rest a little bit, and then start practicing for the matches for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's actually really good for them, and really, really bad for StarTale right now, what's happening. So
they need someone to just stand up and shout at the team and be like, okay guys, this is absolutely not acceptable. This was disgraceful today. We need to step it up tomorrow. This is unacceptable.
We hear from Ragnarok first. You're very important for the match today. How do you feel about getting multiple wins?
모르던 그 거신러쉬를 아예 모르던 상황이라서 이거 이대로 지나했는데 어찌어찌 막아가지고 오늘 뭔가 2킬 정도, 3킬 정도도 바라볼 수 있겠다 생각했는데 오늘
He didn't expect the Colossus push, and as soon as he saw it, he thought he was going to lose.
That's exactly what we talked about earlier, that the execution with the force fields in the position was just a big problem, and not microing those Colossi. So he's just talking about this as well, and saying that winning this game really gave him a lot of momentum that he carried over into the second game, and it helped him a lot to win game number 2 as well.
Why do you think you lost to Life? Very pointed question. Actually, this type of question we don't get to see in interviews enough, I feel.
제 3모티 쪽에서 싸웠던 200병력이 제가 좀 힘을 많이 발휘 못했어요. 그래가지고 그것 때문에
the fight, and on second inspection, the concave didn't really work for him. And Life had map control and kept, he tried to catch Life, but he just wasn't able to do it. So he was trying to play a game where he controlled the map and was catching Life at every turn, but it was basically the opposite, and he couldn't get a concave when he was fighting in the big deciding battles.
I guess we're going to hear from Supernova as well.
I hope so.
And he was the one who closed it out for us.
네, 깜짝 놀랐네요. punk이가 얘기하는 줄 알고 깜짝 놀랐어요. 자, 김영준 선수 오늘 이승현, 이원표, 와, 스타테일 2등이라고 할 수 있는 두 명의 에이스 저그들을 잡아냈거든요.
So he defeated the two key players of StarTale today.
좀 어제
That's just being asked for a comment.
였는데 생각보다 툭 치니까 그냥 다 끝나셔서 좀 쉬운 감이 없지 않아.
He says that they are both very, very difficult opponents to play.
뉴스를 보니까 뭐 뒤통수를 쳤더니 입술이 터졌다 뭐 이런 얘기가 나오던데 툭
And the
치니까
games were much easier than he
Yeah,
expected.
both games, he says,
그런 이야기가
easier than he expected.
아무래도 김영진 선수.
Well, if you think about it, that's exactly what happened. No Roach Run, no nothing. Game number 1 against Life. He had a simple push with Marauders and Hellbats, and of course the Medivacs. Took not only down the third, but won the game immediately with that. And then in game number 2, a double drop going in and cleaning out Furious' army, ending the game there. So I don't blame him for actually stating this like this bluntly.
Of course, it's not going to happen, but I would love to hear what Curious has to say. I don't think he wants anybody to hear it right now, but it seems like you're bringing out new strategies every time you play in GSTL. Did you prepare anything for tomorrow? He says, I have a lot of strategies in my pocket that I haven't shown anybody yet.
김영진 선수 이런 또 멋진 각오까지 들으니까 내일 경기도 기대가 됩니다.
Well, he's playing a Terran vs. Terran tomorrow. He's up against Hack. So.
네.
I'm eager to see what he has planned.
The way he says that kind of hints that if we go to an ace match, he could also be one of the players we might see. Since he has a lot of strategies he wants to show. Could also be for the finals too.
Always a solid player for his team. Simple, of course, the one that you would jump to immediately when you think about the ace player, but Supernova has proven in the past that he's very strong and can do it for the team as well. So, depending on the opponent to face, definitely.
Hey, consider since Simple did not come out today, he gets to hide his strategies again for tomorrow and the finals, so that's really, really good for AZUBU. So everything looking good for AZUBU right now, the momentum totally in their hands. They were the favorites going into this match just because StarTale didn't do so well in the second round. Now they take the first game, they crush it, and StarTale, I don't know what they're going to do to come back here, especially with Bomber not playing tomorrow. It is, it's like 2 mountains to climb.
I think the players there need a bit of a wake-up call. the first thing that happens if you play a bad half in soccer or wherever is that your coach starts yelling at you like crazy, and I think that's the same in every sport. So you need something like this, and I would be very surprised if the coach doesn't have some harsh words to the team and says like, "Okay, guys, we need to do better than that." We have a quick interview with Boom Boom as well. Not quite sure if that's going to work, to be honest.
OX. 창피했어요.
He says he's going to express himself with his body
기억에 남는
only.
세레모니였고 너무나 즐거운 세레모니였어요. 내일도 이런 세레모니 보여줄 겁니까? 왜요?
He said
왜요?
Okay, he's making circles and crosses.
they asked him if he has a ceremony, and he made the X, and now he's trying to communicate.
좋습니다.
뭐 물론 이 복장을 입고 경기를 하는
He has to play tomorrow, so he's not going to wear the costume.
He could have a ceremony still, though.
등장 시드로 뭐 한 입장만 정도 해주고
그렇죠.
뭐 그 정도는 괜찮을 것 같은데 어떠신가요?
I still don't know what it is.
완강합니다.
I want to know.
Asking him why not wear the costume in the booth,
어필을 했다라고 생각을 하는 것 같습니다.
그렇죠.
and he just said no. Like, with
세레머니로
an
확실히
X.
이성원 상은 이제 본인이 따놨다 이렇게 생각하기 때문에.
Can somebody tell me what that is? Like seriously,
나중에 또 결승 때
that would be the first question that I would ask him. What is that? What are you? Are you a pumpkin? Are you a carrot? Are you a tomato?
그러면 예.
I don't know, man.
그렇죠. 네, 끝까지
I'm
가봐야죠.
방심하면 안 되는 거예요.
totally clueless
자
on this
이렇게
one.
해서
I got no
아주부의
answers for
인터뷰까지
you.
마쳐봤고요.
I have guesses only.
There is something in your head when you go for a costume like that, okay? There has to be some kind of idea behind it.
Right, I mean,
you're just sort of picking a random costume that you find somewhere and like, yeah, I take the orange.
That looks funny. Ha.
Exactly, there has to be some meaning behind it. Okay, so apparently the costume is a character named Bung Bung. That's some Korean thing. It's a kids comic book in Korea. Alright, now that makes a lot of sense right now. So thanks to production of actually updating us with that.
That really makes sense. Like, that's actually pretty cool. Now that I know that, I'm like, whoa.
Okay, if you actually know the character, I think that was probably a lot more funny than it was was. It's hilarious anyways, but that was okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. That helped. Well, tomorrow is the second day number 2 in the playoffs, and we have the game starting at 6 p.m. once again, same starting time as today.
Make sure you guys show up because this is StarTale's last stand. If they win, we go into a third series on Thursday. Without that, then we of course go straight into the finals.
They need some support here.
They really need your support. You know, tweet at them, tweet at the players, tweet at the staff. You know, make threads on Reddit, Team Liquid. Get the support talk, get the hype talking because they need your help. I don't know. I mean, you can't help them directly, but maybe just seeing your words online may actually motivate them.
I just want to see them fight tomorrow.
I want to see the epic games that we're supposed to see. I don't want to see the life game and the curious game that were a little bit awkward. The panic game that just didn't quite work out. The micro just wasn't quite there. Just very little things, little improvements in some of these sets could have made the game so much more close, so much more epic.
No, today was definitely a bit disappointing in that regard. They have to step it up, and we are hopefully going to see that tomorrow. Then we might see a third match between them. This is it for the day, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the games nonetheless, and we are going to see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Korean Standard Time for the second match between StarTale and AZUBU. Have a good night.